been married now since January, and my wife is pregnant.
Nice, congrats.
And I love fighting. Like, I was a fighter. I did, like, Muay Thai and stuff like that, you know, jiu-jitsu and stuff. But since I've been married, I haven't really been able to do that. And I love my wife, and
oh, boy.
I'm excited to, like, have a kid. But I miss training.
Yeah, I mean,
like, a lot.
That's,
you know?
Yeah,
like, I literally, like,
part
would
of it,
be
man.
at bars, drunk, like, thinking about, like, fighting people.
Oh, interesting. Hold on.
I don't want to be...
You got time to get fucked up at bars. So you're like, I love my family. My passion is gone.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm either with my wife or getting drunk for 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
And she's just taking this from me. It's like, right off the bat, cut out being at bars and go train.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's let him finish, I guess. But that's hilarious.
Oh, like I literally like will be at bars, drunk, like thinking about like fighting people. But I don't want to be one of those like dads that aren't around their kid like a lot, you know, because I do work a lot. I work like 10, 12-hour shifts of like construction. But I just want to fight, you know, and I'm just curious what you think. Like, do you think it's worth me going and spending time going to the gym to do what makes me happy, or
this is awesome the way he's framing
should I
this.
just, you know, figure out another way to cope and just spend more time or all my time with like my wife and kids? Because I feel like being happy fighting will make me a better father.
Insane binary he's setting up here.
And I don't want to not be around my daughter because you know what happens when girls aren't around their daughters.
This is hysterical. He's like,
you know,
now look, my choices are I fight and I'm happy, or my daughter's a whore. I mean, what a fucking idiot. I love you, but you're so dumb, dude.
I love it. He's like, I want to go to the bar, and I just can't stop thinking about getting beaten up by strangers.
I can't stop thinking about beating up a stranger while I'm drunk, and the fetus in my wife's belly sucking cock someday because I'm hitting the heavy bag too much. I mean, these should not be your problems.
Yeah,
man.
it's like what do you want? It's like I feel bad for your daughter, even though you do sound like a nice guy. It's like your options are either I leave and you become a whore, or I stay here with CTE.
And by the way, I don't like the sex negativity here, man. You might be around your daughter a bunch, and she still might be a freak, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
As long as she's only doing what she wants to do. Now, he's set up a clearly false binary here.
Sure.
He clearly wants to, he's setting it up like I'm an idiot, and he's like, do I either do what I want and I'm happy and I'm a good dad, or do I spend all my time with my family and I'm sad and I'm a bad dad? And it's like, that's not how that's not what life is. You know it better than me. Like, just from my perspective, there will be sacrifices.
Of course.
You won't be able to train like you wanted to train. That's just how it is. Whatever it was that made you happy, like whatever it is, whatever your pastimes have been, yeah, man, you're having a fucking newborn. You know what this is.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make some sacrifices.
Listen, being a parent too, the one thing I'll say, I got my, 2 biological daughters, a stepson.
Some would say he has 3 kids, but
exactly,
he hasn't married the woman he's with, so
So one of them didn't come from my nuts per se, but I still do treat them like they did come from my nuts.
The man grew up in German Brooklyn, so
kids' school's paid for.
Yeah. But when you have a kid,
have that. You the one thing about being a parent is you just live with choices, and you live with making a decision that's going to cause internal conflict in your head. You can either, like you're saying, spend all this time with your kid, or spend all this time doing jujitsu. What you're doing is you're making things this black and white, when being a parent is the definition of living in the gray zone, because you should be able, and you can do both. You just now, instead of you normally did your jujitsu after work, you might now have to do it before work. You might now have to, those hours when you're staying at the bar, of course you have to sacrifice that. But if you still want it, you were used to going out to the bar 4 or 5 times a week. If you want to go out there and do it once a week, That's fine if your family allows it, but you also the conflict comes in that every decision you make to not be with your kids is time away from your kids that you have to accept is okay or not. Like I do a lot of these podcasts and stuff while my kids are at school.
Yeah, his daughter's actually in the car right now.
Yes.
She's got the window rolled up.
Yeah.
It's not too hot, so she should be okay.
She's fine.
Yeah,
and
he left a dog bowl and some Twizzlers on the passenger seat. She's okay.
You know, like going away for we have to work. I have to put food on the table. Yeah. I have to put good German schnitzel on the table. So I Haas and Pfeffer, and I'm hunting. I'm old school German. I go in the forest. I hunt elk. I bring it back. I skin it. But I don't go away every weekend when there's opportunities there because I'm like, this is too much time away from my kid. Time becomes currency. The one thing with the parent, it should be all in life, but when you really become a parent, time becomes more valuable than money. It's a more valuable currency than money. It's real. So I think, dude, what also you haven't had this baby yet. The one you're talking right now, because the wife's pregnant, right? She doesn't have the baby yet. Okay.
It's all theoretical right now.
So one thing I'll tell you from experience, the mother becomes a mother as soon as she's pregnant with the baby because she can feel it. The father does not become a father until the first time he physically holds that baby.
Right.
So your opinions about this and all that may change. As soon as you hold that baby, you're like, yeah, I don't want to go get beat up by random guys and go drink till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I want to feed my baby.
Right.
So that might happen. But you got to have to understand, dude, you're going to live for the remainder of your life now. You live in conflict. When you make a choice, you have to weigh that of how is this affecting my children in every single choice you make. So you'll figure it out when you hold your daughter eventually. You'll know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%. And it's like, and it will become much more real for you. And, this is a little bit of I don't want to judge. I haven't been in this predicament and you work hard. I understand that. But it's like, I do think it's coming off a little bit as a guy who hasn't been a father. Like, it's just coming a little immature,
Sure.
This question, right? Where it's like, and I also think you don't sound to me, not to generalize here, as a guy fully in touch with his feelings, right?
Right.
Like, what is it about fighting you really like? Is that your one release? Do you have anger that you're trying to work out in a healthy manner through fighting? I know it's gay, but should you go to therapy and talk about why fighting is so important to you? Or why you're already thinking of making the sacrifice and there's just... Because this could, I don't think it's here yet, this could grow into resentment towards your wife and kid, right? And you don't want that. I don't think you want that. I think you're a good guy. And so I think there's time management is going to be key. Understanding you have to make sacrifices when you welcome a child into the world is key. But I also think you should examine these feelings a little bit. What was your background? What was your upbringing like? Did you ever get to do what you wanted to do in your family? Like, is like having a hobby feel really sacred to you, and now you feel like someone's taking that from? Like, I think there is stuff to understand about yourself here, and I think having a kid is a very good opportunity to do that as well. So Or
why don't you just find your kid?
I was just hit your wife.
Yes,
this is the age-old construction worker solution to this dilemma.
Yes,
they like fighting, and
bring the UFC gym to the house.
Yeah. Make the baby's room an octagon, a full-size octagon.
Yeah, dude.
Spar with the baby and the wife, 2-on-1. Make it fair, and then it's 2 birds, 1 stone.
Amazing, and then you get drunk when the kid goes to sleep.